Thursday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Batters Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Hope your day is off to an awesome start. Fun time last night at Oliver Twist for a little scone and tea. Appreciate everybody who came out as always. And not what I wanted there. The Tigers steamrolling toward their game on Saturday against New Mexico. And of course the Saints are getting ready to go to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Jameis Winston did practice, as did Alvin Kamara on Wednesday, both limited, but we're out there, so it's pretty clear, man. They're tracking toward Jameis playing on Sunday. I sure hope he's more effective than he was this past weekend. I think at some point, if he's not, at some point you really have to start to look at, all right, how much is he really benefiting this team playing hurt? So, all right, y'all know the drill. Fire away. Taking Drew to the neurologist this morning. Got to have our annual checkup with the neurologist. So do morning scone, get Drew to the doc, and then over to New St. Lily. Got a lot going on today. Got a HUDCO meeting this afternoon before AFR. By the way, excited about this today. Full hour with Skip Bertman on AFR. In hour number 2, so the 4 o'clock hour. Full hour with Skip. And he does have a new book out, so we'll talk a little about the book, but mostly we'll talk about everything from hiring coach. I mean, the guy was a coach at AD. We'll talk about everything from hiring coaches to old stories to NIL and future of LSU athletics and everything. So looking forward to that. Skip on the show today for a full hour at 4 p.m., so looking forward to that. All right, Jeff McKithen, good morning. David Coslin, Mac McGuire, Kelly Gross, Earl Joseph Lytle, good morning. Today's my B-Day. Let's get a Who Dat win this Sunday. All right, Earl, happy birthday. Hope it's an awesome day for you. Celebrate accordingly. Cheers to you. Make it a great one, dude. Let's see. Brant Roban, good morning. What's your prediction for Tennessee, Florida? Both teams may be down some key players. Yeah, look, I have Tennessee in the game. If you're Tennessee and you can't win this one, where it has been a long time since Tennessee has had a game of this magnitude and this amount of relevance, right? Where you're a double-digit. Look, I get it. You know, they have over their history. Tennessee really has struggled with. One second, sorry, y'all. Over their history, you know, certainly in the last 20 years, Tennessee really has struggled with Florida. I mean, even when Tennessee teams were good, they just couldn't get over the hump against the Gators. Let's see. Florida won last year 38-14. I mean, Florida's 31-20. Florida won 11 in a row from 05 to 15. I mean, they're currently on a 5-game win streak against Tennessee. I think Tennessee's last win was it was 2016 when they won on that. Oh no, it was 38-20. They won on a Hail Mary. Maybe it was Florida who won. It looked like Tennessee was going to end it, and then Florida won on a Hail Mary, if y'all remember that. I don't remember which game. Maybe that was that one. Anyway, either way, point is, if you're Tennessee and you can't get this one when you're a 10.5-point favorite at home, Florida has looked really shaky the last 2 weeks. You've got a guy who some think might be the best quarterback in the SEC, could certainly make a case for it, respect to Bryce Young. Man, like if you're Tennessee, you better go get this one, because if you don't, it's fair to wonder, like, how will they ever? Right, but I do think Tennessee wins the game. Matthew Garner, good morning, catching the replay from last night, saw the RR13 bottle. Store owner came in clutch for me. I got a batch 2 bottle near MSRP. Thoughts on the juice. So I'm not a huge Russell's Reserve guy. Look, man, they put out a lot of great stuff that people love. Same people that Russell's does Wild Turkey and all that sort of stuff. They put out a lot of stuff people like, man. It just, for whatever reason, hasn't really been my speed. So I bet Store Picks had the 13 last night. I have a bottle of Russell's 15 somewhere around here. Just not my thing, man. Just good, man. Everybody's got their own likes. Ricky Lambert, Thomas Bergeron, Bob Poole, good morning. Ben Dupuy, why would ESPN put LSU Auburn in prime time and not the matchup of ranked teams, Kentucky Ole Miss? Ben, it's easy because one is LSU Auburn and one's Kentucky Ole Miss. Because in your mind, like you have an understanding of why Kentucky Ole Miss is appealing, because it's a ranked matchup, a couple undefeated teams, both teams kind of trying to ascend the ranks in their respective divisions. But if you live in Phoenix, what game is going to resonate more? LSU Auburn or Kentucky Ole Miss? It's why Notre Dame, even through their dark years of Willingham and Charlie Weiss, they were still on NBC because they're Notre Dame. I get it's their contract, but it's a brand appeal. It's what it is. It's the name on the jerseys. It's the logo on the helmet. It's LSU Auburn. LSU and Auburn have far more cachet than Ole Miss Kentucky. That's why. That's why they're putting that in prime time on ESPN at 6 o'clock. Brad Johnson, what's going on? Caleb Cody, let's go, Matt. I hope you and your family have a great day. Thank you, man. Same to you. Hunter Broadhead, Jeb Whitley, Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Do you think Peyton Turner can start being effective in the pass rush, or could he be a bust? I'm not going to go and label him a bust. He was injured last year, and you're a couple of games into the season. He did have the block on the field goal, against Atlanta. Yeah, I wouldn't label him a bust. It's far too early for that. Let's see the guy play a full season and come into his own. I like his versatility. I like that he can play inside and out. And I love the athleticism. So I'm hopeful. Very hopeful. I also think Mariota, that was a game where it wasn't really conducive to big sack numbers because of his running ability. And then Tom Brady is just historically great at getting rid of the football. He just doesn't take sacks. You just got to pressure him and move him off his spot, but he just doesn't take sacks. So, similar to Breeze. Trivia Carter, Jason H., Joey Vincent, Jesse, what is the insight on New Mexico? I know nothing about them, and is the spread too high? New Mexico's 2-1. Their loss came to Boise State. Their coach was the defensive coordinator at Arizona State before coming over. He's now in year 3 at New Mexico. First year was the COVID year. It was pretty rough. They went 3-9 last year, and they're 2-1 right now. So building. They're but realistically, they got no shot in this game. Jason Mabio, good morning, Brad David. When you are in the car, do you listen to sports or music? Rarely, if ever, music. Sometimes sports, but a lot of times when I'm in the car, I'll either make phone calls or listen to podcasts. So, some of the shows that I like a lot to listen to, I love how most like business or entrepreneurial shows or crypto. Usually I try to use that time to learn something. Weston Weaver, Larry Garner. Let's see, Brad, why did Dinardo not win at LSU? Was he not a good recruiter? No, Dinardo brought in good talent, man. Not elite level talent. Ultimately, Dinardo, the beginning of Dinardo's undoing was hiring Lou Tepper, who was his defensive coordinator, and in '98, and it unraveled, and then he refused to replace him, and so he was fired in '99. That was a big part of it. Was their defense the last 2 years was atrocious under Tepper. It's funny too because older fans will know this, but Lou Tepper literally wrote the book on defense. He a little before his time. He had a position he called the drop linebacker, and Thomas Dunson was supposed to be, I think from West Monroe, was supposed to be this, the greatest linebacker ever, fit Lou Tepper's defense, the drop linebacker, and it just did not work. But there's literally a book that Lou Tepper wrote about defense and drop linebacker and all that stuff. But yeah, that's a giant part of why. Brett DeGrow, let's see. Caleb Cody, who wants to watch Ole Miss at night? Carter Harris, morning, Matt. After being at Mississippi State game, I really think we will win at Auburn if we continue to get better. Yeah, look, I mean, Carter, the thing is, Auburn and Florida, which, I mean, I've said this for months and months and months now, but it's hard to win there. It is. My feeling about LSU Auburn has less to do with what LSU did against Mississippi State and more to do with what Penn State did going to Jordan-Hare and absolutely steamrolling Auburn. Was it 41-12? I mean, that's more telling than anything LSU did against Mississippi State, is the fact that Auburn in their own building got completely bullied by a team that kind of needed a miracle to beat Purdue in their opener. So, Frank Zubia, good morning from Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, man. Wendell Norman, Jerry Newsome, good morning. Do you think LSU covers? Yeah, Jerry, look, man, I'll tell you again, I do not bet LSU or Saints games, ever. So, I don't, I try my best to be completely impartial and objective. I don't know that I fully trust that I am. And also, I don't want the result of the wager to affect my outcome and how I view the game. Like, if LSU win, if I pick LSU to cover, if I bet LSU to cover, they win and don't cover, am I pissed off in the postgame unnecessarily because they didn't cover? Am I being more critical than I would be because they didn't cover? I just don't fool with it. I never bet LSU or Saints games. Brian Williams, my wife is a Lobo, so I'm gonna have to be extra nice on game night. Hank Hill 420. I've been laughing all week as an Aggie Saints fan. I even know Mike Evans was out of pocket. Yeah, I mean, come on. Mike Evans is a great player, dude. He's the first player in NFL history to have 1,000-yard seasons each of his first 8 years in the league. It's incredible. I mean, he's a great player. Mike Evans is a future Hall of Fame caliber receiver. But he's just run up against a matchup that doesn't favor him. And for whatever reason, Marshawn Lattimore has just owned him. And that's for an alpha who's really good. It's not comfortable being owned. And I'm sure Lattimore's in his ear the whole game too. And so when he's had these opportunities to strike, he's done it. And there's no justification for it. But anyway. Jeb, Matt, do you think Keyshawn can get going soon? Yeah, man. I mean, Keyshawn's primed for a breakout anytime. But, here's the thing. On LSU's final drive, where they scored, where they busted off that 47, Goodwin busted off the 47-yard touchdown run. The play before that was third and 8. And Jaden Daniels scrambled for 10 yards. On the play, ESPN showed the end zone view, so you could see the whole field opening up. And on the right sideline, Keyshawn was over the corner and under the safety. He was open. And he had enough separation where if Daniels hits him, he probably turns upfield and scores. Daniels passed on that throw and ran for 10 yards. So this is where, a couple things. This is where the fan sentiment of, man, Daniels runs too much. There's validity there. But it's why I asked Brian Kelly that question on Monday. we said, look, he's so dynamic when he runs, we don't want to limit that. Right? We want him to be dynamic in the running game. But we also want him, when he has that ball to Kayshawn on the sideline, to make that throw. So, to your point about Kayshawn, a big part of Kayshawn getting going is Jaden Daniels getting going through the air and taking throws like that when they're open. So, but now look, I mean, against Florida State, the second play of the game, they took a shot into the end zone and Kayshawn got his hands on the ball and didn't come down with it. When they were in the red zone against Florida State in the second quarter, Kayshawn ran the skinny post and Daniels hit him in the numbers and, would have had how different is the game if Kayshawn catches those two balls? Against Southern, they purposefully pushed the ball to him. Against Mississippi State, the second play of the game, he had an 18-yard reception. So, but on third downs, if they're shading coverage toward Kayshawn, and that leaves Malik Neighbors in man coverage, guess what? 3 third downs and a fourth down conversion all to Malik. Why? He was the guy that had man coverage. Let's see, Hank. I think if he thinks Marshawn Stock is bad, he should be glad Chauncey isn't there anymore. Oh, I'm sure he was too. Sure he was. All right, y'all, smash that like button if you haven't done so yet. So we shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. They're just the best. On Blue Bonnet near Perkins, inside of the Surgical Specialty Center. And, of course, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. I told y'all HUDCO last week became the first ever Louisiana-based fortified roofing company. So we are a certified fortified roofing company. Essentially, if you have a fortified roof, it's proven to stand up more in storms. So there are some states that mandate fortified roofing and actually have programs where they will pay for fortified roofing. Louisiana doesn't have that yet, but if you have a fortified roof, you can save up to 52% on your homeowner's insurance premiums. Learn more, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Michael Thacker, let's see, if Bradford comes back at guard, does Frazier kick out the tackle over Jones? I don't think so. I think Frazier goes to the bench. Thad Landry, Brian Wynn, Deborah Cowart, Megan Hurst, Brant Roban, good morning. Got a free bottle of Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. You a fan? Yeah, I think Jack puts out good juice. I know the old number 7, the original Jack Daniel's is the best-selling whiskey in the world. So they've got a great history of producing whiskey in mass quantities, and all of the special releases that Jack Daniel's has done is great. Their 10-year is fantastic. I got a bottle of McCoy Hill, which was their special release last year. But yeah, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel is fine. It's very good. Joseph Strickland, good morning from Huntsville. Tony Williams, Dalton Pichon. I'm hoping we don't fall into a trap game with New Mexico. Nah. Drastically different levels of competition. Drastically different. Brant Roban, you may have answered this already. What are the chances the Texas LSU, or that's probably Tennessee LSU game, will be at night? Yeah, Brant, I think it will be. That's October the 8th. And so you have both, so Bama A&M is going to be the night game on CBS. So that's going to be the day-night doubleheader. So the other options are either, the 2:30 options are either going to be Auburn, Georgia, or LSU, Tennessee. Now, I know for a fact that CBS wants to be in Tiger Stadium at least once a year. So whenever it was LSU Bama as the night game, that was easy. Now, not so much. My guess is, who was that, Brant? My guess, Brant, is that LSU Ole Miss, if you look at the schedule for that day, LSU Ole Miss is likely going to be a 2:30 game in Tiger Stadium, regardless. But I think it really comes down to, does CBS want to put Georgia, Auburn, I put Georgia the number 1 team in the country at 2:30, or do they want LSU, Tennessee? And it probably depends on what both teams' results look like over the next couple of weeks. Hunter Eilers, good morning. Mom in surgery now due to breast cancer. All right, Hunter, man, let's offer up some prayers for Hunter's mom. Man, hope everything just goes smooth, and the doctors are use their God-given abilities to do what they do great, man. So prayers to you and your family, Hunter. Certainly for your mom's healing, and for all of you for a little peace of mind, especially right now. So, Dalton, not with New Mexico specifically, lesser opponent teams. Paul Lucy, good morning. Tavanka De Silva, good morning. Rhoda Ewell, good game for Walker Howard to get some more garbage time. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on Scone and T last night. I am curious. I'm going to be curious if they don't. If LSU gets up big, I'll be curious to see if they put in Nussmeier or Howard second. Excuse me. I know that's probably going to get some of you off guard, but remember, the knock on Nussmeier last year is didn't protect the football. In spring, the knock was didn't protect the football. In fall camp, didn't protect the football. Gets his opportunity against Southern, didn't protect the football. And I'm told since the Southern game, it's basically been the same, if not worse. So, again, I don't know. Like sometimes, look, y'all, last week, whenever I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Emory Jones starts at right tackle. I knew Emory Jones was starting at right tackle. So I could throw that out there as like a leading prediction, but I knew it, right? I knew he was starting. I'm not telling you that. I don't know that, but I think they have a decision to make. And I will be curious to see if maybe Walker goes in second. I don't know that they make that decision, but I'll be interested to see if they do. Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Jeremy Hoskins, Matt, can anyone create Gamecoin for the players, or is it only for collegiate players and higher? 9 years old and up. 7U thought it'd be cool to create Gamecoin. Yeah, so Jeremy, 9 and up can create their own NFTs or fan tokens. So almost, I know you're at 7U, but yeah, 9 and up for Gamecoin. It's getting exciting, man. God, it's so exciting. I know I've been saying that for a year, and it's hard for people to understand, but like, there are crypto projects where some companies have been working for literally years, 3-4 years to get a platform launched. And, Gamecoin launched its token last summer, but really it was only after the first of the year that they really started head down working on building out the platform. And it'll be live in less than a year, which is incredible. So I'm excited about it, man. It looks awesome. The punch list stuff has been tedious, but it's like literally, I won't spend much time on it, but like literally you have to go through and push every single button on the platform to make sure it goes where it's supposed to go. Think about that. Think about going to a website and pushing every single button to make sure it redirects where it's supposed to go. And if something doesn't work, then you have to send it to the developer for fix. And then you go through the process again, pushing every single button to make sure it goes where it goes. And then you got to send it. So it's like, that's the process. Like it is tedious. It is a very tedious process, but we're not going to launch Gamecoin, the platform, if it's not ready. We're not going to launch it and have things not work. So, anyway, Chris Andrapon, Stephen Ferber, Chase Pellegrin, Jason Rivas, Dalton. What is Gamecoin? What is it backed by? Gamecoin is a crypto project that allows athletes from 9 all the way up to LeBron or Tom Brady to mint their own NFTs and create their own fan tokens, and allows people to trade using Gamecoin as that currency. So the way I would oversimplify it is, if you're Tom Brady, you want to create your own NFT or your fan token, you could do it. If you're Shelton Sampson, you could create a fan token whereby Dalton, you and I could go buy Shelton Sampson's fan token, hold on to it, and if he becomes a superstar, it effectively acts as like his rookie card. Think about if you had like LeBron James cards from when he was in high school at St. Vincent St. Mary. Think of it like that. And then on an even lower level, like I think Justin was asking, if when you and I were kids, and we were on our sports team, we'd go take pictures, right? Well, and then you give like the wallet size photo to your grandma or whatever. Well, nobody carries wallet photos anymore. So what you do is create your own NFT very affordably. And it would be like you upload a picture, name, team, jersey number, it'd have all these cool graphics, and then it becomes a digital card basically that you could then, people could go buy. Or I mean, even if you price it at $1, whatever. You don't think your grandma would go spend $1, $5 on your NFT, or your aunt, uncle, whatever. So it's an awesome idea. I mean, for so many different functionalities. It's why I was so bullish on it whenever I first heard about it. It's why I invested like I did, and I'm excited about it, man. I'm very, very excited. We're there. We're almost there. All right, a couple more. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Okay. Where are we? Matt Lusto, Uncle Nearest is delicious cousin of Jack Daniels. Neat story too. I'm familiar. Troy Davis, Eric Bertrand, Irfan Sayad, Matt Lusto, not criticism, thinking, game theory. Have y'all considered bad actors who basically catfish people with fake youth athletes to get money? So I understand what you're saying. So like, are you saying that if somebody was like acting as a 5-star player but wasn't really that, yes, there's a verification process for everyone, for every athlete like that, yes. Aaron Hornsby, good morning. Okay, all right, y'all, I got to get rolling. Got to get Drew up, get him to the neurologist today. So would appreciate prayers as always. But it was good, just a checkup. And all right, y'all, so LSU Daily is live. AFR at 3. Skip Bertman for an entire hour at 4 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Got questions for Skip, you can get them into me. Be happy to ask him what I can, what you're interested in. On your way out, please smash that like button. YouTube, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, shout out to Brock and Hudco. You need an orthopedics, go to Brock. Need a roof, call Hudco. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.